And welcome back to the Baseball Hut 3. Hopefully you like this video and hit that subscribe button. I had a lot of fun here at the Hut, because this channel is doing so well. And of course, we like talking about WFAN. It seems that Craig Carton is not going to be, he wants to break bread with Mike Francesca. I would mention, did anybody bring him bread with a nail file in it when he was in prison? When he was in federal prison for that time? I guess he wasn't getting a visit from, radio legend Mike Francesca. I guess he wasn't getting that. Yeah, he wasn't getting that. Getting regular visits from the Pope of Sports. But I guess this came up. I thought this was kind of interesting to talk about here at the Baseball Hut 3. And of course, I need to hit the subscribe button and like this video. And of course, send me a super thanks because I'm such a wonderful person. I need all the support. I need all the help I can get. But here we go from off announcement. Craig Carton opened to Breaking Bread with Mike Francesca. And they've been wanting to break bread over their heads. Maybe they can come to some kind of some kind of peace. But here's the thing. Francesca does not have to do this. He does not have to meet with this clown. I will say this, one thing. Watch your wallet. On the air, off the air, his house, my home, your house. I've said yes to that 20 times over. What a strange little individual. If Mike Francesca is willing, Craig Carton maintains he's open to bridging one of the biggest gaps in New York sports radio history. Francesca and Carton have long been radio enemies, even though they're out there tenure on the same team as pillars at WFAN. Carton has often told the story of Francesca predicting his morning radio show with Norman Esiason wouldn't last a year, which seemingly set the relationship off on the wrong foot. I would mention, move on. It did end abruptly. We will say that. And the second time ended abruptly. The third time will end abruptly, even more so. In the following years, the relationship never recovered. Carton often mocking Francesca, and Francesca attempting to exude arrogance over the station's thriving morning show. Fast forward, now I'm a little tongue-tied. Fast forward nearly 2 decades. Carton is now in his third tenure, not second tenure. Second tenure in afternoon drive on WFAN, co-hosting with Francesca's former producer, Chris McMonagle, a.k.a. the Suck Killer. If you see him on the street, you see his pictures of McMonagle, he looks like an axe murderer. All in fun. All while others have tried and failed to bridge the gap between Carton and Francesca. McMonagle claimed he could be the conduit to making it happen during that Tuesday afternoon show on WFAN, on the fan. Quote, I would not say no, Carton immediately said of a potential meeting with Francesca. And by the way, the architect, Odyssey executive Chris Olivero, who oversees WFAN and the Infinity Sports Network, has tried for years. Because I've said, if Mike says yes, my answer is yes. However you want to do it, on the air, off the air, his house, my house, your house, this guy's house, the Baseball Hut's home. I've said yes to that. Well, not here. I'd invite Mike in. I know he's not going to take anything. I've said yes to that 20 times over. Okay? Francesca and Carton did appear together several times at WFAN despite their public feuds. In 2009, Francesca joined Boomer Carton live from Citi Field for a celebratory event when the stadium was opening. Francesca also joined Boomer Carton in 2012 for WFAN's 25th anniversary. I mean, joining the awful announcing podcast earlier this year, the icon said he believes he could have worked with Francesca. Quote, it would have been a great show for about a month. And then it just would have exploded for sure. Either he would have wanted to kill me, I would have wanted to kill him. But as a radio guy, he and I don't have to like each other personally. I respect the career. I respect the success, and he and I will never break bread together. I can tell you that. Well, he seems to be very focused on this. This really bothers him. It might never happen. I mean, this is like 19 years of this, folks. And it still bothers him. It might never happen, but Carton is at least willing to admit he's open to breaking bread with Francesca. Now it's on Francesca to be similarly amenable. The problem is there's really no need for Francesca to bridge that gap, since he's no longer on the same team as Carton and doesn't really have a relationship with WFAN or his afternoon show. Longtime WFAN listeners, however, would certainly be interested in seeing it happen. But don't expect that I'm not interested. I'm sort of a half listener. I'm a half listener. Be a half listener. I'm a half listener. I'm not interested in this. What the hell cares? The only person that cares is Craig Carton. He's the only one who cares about this. This is him, wanting this show that he made. Oh, I made it, Mike. I made it. Let's break bread. Let's have dinner together. Oh, this is so gay. I know he's not, one of those. But geez, who cares? Move on with your life. Move on. Stop obsessing. Stop obsessing, man. This is the kind of obsession that got him in trouble. This obsessive compulsive behavior that made him become like a wanted criminal. I mean, really. Francesca said something negative about him, 20 years ago. Who knew that show was going to be any good? Or at least survive? And didn't survive that long anyway. He got arrested. It lasted about 9-10 years, and then he got arrested. And then he quit. Let's point that out. He didn't get fired from WFAN. He quit. He could have done... shouldn't have quit. He should have did the show from prison. Prison's pretty lenient. It's not that difficult. I mean, he could have done different shows, I mean, you could have had a situation where, with boomers, in the studio, and where they used to be, in Astoria, and they could have had, Carton some federal penitentiary, with the headphones on, and, somebody get sodomized. I mean, not getting sodomized. I mean, really bad stuff going on behind him. That'd be great. That'd be great TV. And Carton would have like to be a third host on that show. We don't want to get into what the guy is. Some guy that was like an axe murderer. But that would be awfully fun, wouldn't it? But he didn't do that. He quit. Then he comes back after getting out of the clink. And he starts working with Uneven Evan, that poor guy. Uneven Evan's so like traumatized by after working with him for a few years, he didn't want him back. Because he could have taken him back. He could have, stayed with them. But Uneven Evan didn't want to be a sidekick anymore. I don't blame him. Because he wasn't a sidekick with a nutjob Joe Beningo. Yeah. Now, I would mention, I do not hate Craig Carton. I pity him. I pray for him every day. That the next time he gets, pinched, it won't be for as long. It won't be as harsh. And, of course, like I said, I only hate one person at that radio station. That's Joe Beningo. That's it. I'm cool with Craig Carton. Just keep his nose clean. Don't gamble. We'll see about that. That we'll never know. Because nobody knew. I mean, really, let's be honest. This came out of nowhere when he got pinched. Nobody knew that he was going to be arrested. That came out of this was like the biggest surprise. I wish I had a channel back then in 2017. I would have covered this and just getting the marshmallows out. Because he's one of these other guys that I don't get the fascination. What fascination radio people have with him. The other guy is Sid Rosenberg. That's the other guy I don't get when it comes to being on the radio. Because I've been, watching and listening to radio shows since I was a little hut, And you know talent when you see it. And you know talent when you hear it. Mike Francesca, Christopher Mad Dog Russo, Howie Rose. I can go on and on and on, all these different people. Just these guys, I don't get it. I don't get Craig Carton. I don't get Sid Rosenberg. And I don't get, quite frankly, Joe Beningo. To be honest with you. But what do I know? I got a tiny little footprint here on YouTube. You let me know what you think about this video. And again, this is another visit to the criminally insane version of WFAN, the criminally insane nervous hospital known as WFAN. I screwed the end of this video.